So today's topic is defecation reflex. ठीक है, लास्ट क्लास में हमने क्या पढ़ा था? मोटिलिटी ऑफ लार्ज इंटेस्टीन एंड स्मॉल इंटेस्टीन एंड लार्ज इंटेस्टीन. ठीक है, ये पढ़ा था. So what is defecation reflex? What is defecation? It is the voiding of feces is known as what? Defecation. ठीक है, and जो रिफ्लेक्स होता है, जो कंप्लीट रिफ्लेक्स आर्क होता है, that is defecation reflex, right? So what is feces? Feces, it is formed in large intestine and stored in sigmoid colon, and when there is appropriate stimulus, this expels out. So defecation. Most of the time the rectum is empty due to weak functional sphincter. It exists 20 centimeter from anus at a juncture between sigmoid colon and rectum. So and there is sharp angulation. Normally क्या होता है? Rectum is empty. क्यों होता है empty rectum? क्योंकि there is a sphincter जो कि होता है sigmoid colon और rectum के बीच में. ठीक है, first thing is that. Second is there is angulation. ठीक है, जहाँ पे there is filling of rectum, वहाँ पे there is angulation. So because of that angle the rectum is empty. ठीक है. So continued dribbling of feces through anus is prevented by, first is the internal anal sphincter and second one is external anal sphincter. So what is internal anal sphincter? It is internal anal sphincter is made up of smooth muscle and external is made up of skeletal muscle. So internal is under involuntary control and external is under voluntary control. Internal is innervated by parasympathetic fibers of pelvic nerve, and external is innervated by the pudendal nerve. So this is at rest, right? So this is the rectum, this is anal canal. There is a muscle, that is the puborectalis. So it makes an angle, right? This is the external anal sphincter. There is internal anal sphincter, right? So normally there is बातें नहीं. बातें करोगे तो मैं क्लास नहीं पढ़ाऊंगी और अटेंडेंस भी नहीं दूंगी. Both, right? ठीक है. Whenever this is normal at rest. During straining, what happens? During straining, this angle is gone. So there is descent of the feces, right? Now contraction of the puborectalis muscle inhibits defecation. So normally this muscle is contracted. This is contracted, so it makes an angle, so it prevents the defecation. At rest, during straining, the angle is gone. So with straining, what happens? Abdominal muscles contract. With straining, abdominal muscles contract, pelvic floor is lowered and puborectalis muscle relaxes. So this is combined with relaxation of external anal sphincter and defecation occurs. So this is through reflex. It can be voluntary also. So voluntary is initiated by straining. So what happens? By taking a deep breath, when there is deep breath, it moves the diaphragm downward and contracting along with that contracting the abdominal muscles. So this contraction of the abdominal muscle, it increases the pressure in the abdomen. So this forces the fecal matter to move out. This was the mechanism. Now next is reflex. So what is reflex? हो गई बातें? This side also. Defecation reflex is urge to defecate. First occurs when rectal pressure increases to 18 mm of mercury. So when the pressure reaches to 55 mm of mercury, external as well as internal anal sphincter relax, and there is reflex expulsion of the content of rectum. It is initiated by the defecation reflex. It is an intrinsic reflex, it is weak reflex, and it is mediated by the local enteric nervous system in the rectal wall. So this is the pathway of the defecation reflex. This is the pathway of the जब भी कोई reflex होता है तो there is first stimulus, there is stimulus. Reflex arc क्या क्या बना होता है? Stimulus, afferent fiber, center, efferent fiber, and then muscle contraction. So what is stimulus? The afferents are going through the pelvic nerve. With the blue you can see. So whenever there is stimulation, the afferents will go through the pelvic nerve. It will go to the center. Center is at the level of spinal cord, S2, S3, S4. Center पे जाएंगे. वहाँ से efferents will come to the pudendal nerve. It will come to the pudendal nerve. It is supplying this is the internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter. So this will cause contraction of these internal and external anal sphincter and defecation occurs. So this is the reflex arc. This is the reflex arc. की समझ लिया ना सबने? Arc समझ लो फिर theory समझ में आ जाएगी, right? So it is a parasympathetic nerve reflex. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे there is involvement of the pelvic nerve. So it is a parasympathetic reflex. It involves sacral segment of spinal cord. S2, S3, S4 पे होता है. It involves the sacral segment of spinal cord. It greatly intensifies the peristaltic wave as well as relaxes the internal anal sphincter and convert the intrinsic muscle from a weak effort to powerful process of defecation. Right? So peristaltic movement को बहुत ज़्यादा it increases and so even and relaxes the internal anal sphincter. So even a weak effort also causes defecation. So pathway में क्या होता है? First there is descent of the rectum, distension of the rectum. So when the rectum distends, it acts as a stimulus. Rectum distends, it acts as a stimulus. The impulse will go to the sensory nerve, that is pelvic nerve. ठीक है? Pelvic nerve से impulse will go to the sacral segment of the spinal cord. The center is sacral segment. So impulse will go to the sacral segment of the spinal cord. And the motor impulse, that is efferent, comes. ठीक है? Efferent motor impulse comes through. खड़े हो जाओ. हाँ, बोल ले आओ. So motor impulse coming. It was coming through what? Motor impulse was coming through the efferent fibers of the pelvic nerve as well as the pudendal nerve. So it will come through that and cause strong contraction of the descending colon and sigmoid colon and relaxation of the internal anal sphincter. Simultaneously, there is voluntary relaxation of the external anal sphincter and due to inhibition of the pudendal nerve by impulses from the cerebral cortex. Normally क्या होता है? जो pudendal nerve होता है, it keeps in tune and it closes भी ये contract करके रखता है, right? So defecation reflex is therefore a spinal reflex. It is a spinal reflex and it can be voluntary, facilitated by the relaxing of the external anal sphincter and contracting the abdominal muscle. Applied Foster-Hirschsprung disease, or it is also known as aganglionic megacolon or congenital megacolon. So what is Hirschsprung disease or aganglionic megacolon? So in this, what happens? There is congenital absence of the ganglionic cells. मैं फिर से खड़ा करूंगी इस क्लास में भी. Second one, right? In both mesenteric and submucous plexus of a segment of distal colon. So normally क्या होता है? जो local mesenteric and जो submucous plexus होते हैं, वो local secretion and contraction में काम करते हैं, right? वो ganglion होते हैं, ठीक है? इतना सबको पता है. अगर वो congenitally absent है, तो जो normal contraction होगा वो नहीं होगा, जो local reflex से हो रहा है वो नहीं होगा. So what will happen? It result in failure of normal cranial and due to congenital absence of ganglion, जो cranial to caudal migration of the neural crest. Normally क्या होता है? जब during fetal life, जब baby fetal life में होता है, तो there is जो neural crest cells होते हैं वो migrate होते हैं from the cranial to the caudal side. ये आपको एम्ब्रियो में बताएंगे, ठीक है। फ्रॉम द क्रेनियल टू द काउडल साइड, वहां पे वो मूव होते हैं, वो गैंग्लियन अपनी जगह पे आते हैं, ठीक है। वो मूव नहीं करेंगे, वो मूव नहीं करेंगे तो देयर इज एब्सेंस ऑफ गैंग्लियन। सो एब्सेंस ऑफ गैंग्लियन विल कॉजेज एब्सेंस ऑफ पेरिस्टाल्सिस। पेरिस्टाल्सिस नहीं होगा, जो फीसिस है वो पास नहीं होगा और वो एक जगह एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा, पास नहीं होगा और वो एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा, एंड दिस विल कॉज मेगा कोलोन। जो कोलोन है वो डायलेटेड हो जाएगा और बड़ा हो जाएगा, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज मेगा कोलोन। डेफिकेशन नहीं होगा, कोलोन डायलेटेड हो जाएगा, एंड दिस कॉल्ड एज व्हाट, मेगा कोलोन। सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट, क्योंकि कॉन्जेनाइटल होता है तो इट इज कॉल्ड एज कॉन्जेनाइटल मेगा कोलोन। क्योंकि इसमें गैंग्लियन नहीं होता है इसलिए इसको आप क्या बोलते हो, ए गैंग्लियोनिक मेगा कोलोन, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज हिर्स्प्रिंग डिजीज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ साइंटिस्ट। So children with the disease may defecate as once every 3 weeks, ठीक है। They may defecate क्यों, because of pressure only, once every 3 weeks, and need to be treated surgically by cutting the aganglionic portion। जो जहाँ पे गैंग्लियन नहीं है उसको कट कर देते हैं by pelvic rectal junction and anastomoting the cut ends, और उसको anastomose कर देते हैं, जो cut ends होते हैं उनको जोड़ देते हैं। So this is what Hirschsprung disease or congenital megacolon or aganglionic megacolon. Now next is what, constipation. So constipation, it refers to the failure of voiding of feces which produces discomfort, right? So this is constipation. It results from infrequent mass movement in the colon, ठीक है। अगर suppose जो normal diurnal variation नहीं है, there is infrequent movement है, तो this will cause what, constipation, girls. It results, so अगर फीसिस पास नहीं होगा तो फीसिस लॉन्ग टाइम तक अगर पड़ा रहेगा, कोलोन में पड़ा रहेगा, तो दिस विल कॉज डायलिटेशन ऑफ द कोलोन। फर्स्ट थिंग, जो भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट और वाटर है वो एब्जॉर्ब हो जाएगा वहां से, जो फीसिस है उससे, क्योंकि जो लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन है, कोलोन है, उसमें एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है वाटर इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का, वो एब्जॉर्ब हो जाएगा, एंड दिस विल मेक द फीसिस ड्राई, दिस विल मेक द फीसिस ड्राई एंड हार्ड। तो दिस इज कॉन्स्टिपेशन। इटियोपैथोजेनेसिस मतलब कारण। All of you understand what is etiopathogenesis meaning, पता है? मतलब cause of the disease. Etiopathogenesis is the cause of the disease, right? This is a scientific term. So what is the etiopathogenesis? It is the tumor or ulcer. अगर suppose कहीं पे कोलोन में बीच में अल्सर है तो क्या होगा, अल्सर है तो वो ठीक से काम नहीं कर पाएगी, या ट्यूमर है तो वो ठीक से काम नहीं कर पाएगी, and that can cause the constipation. But this is a rare cause, ठीक है। If one does not allow defecation to occur when reflex is excited, ठीक है, when there is reflex, अगर someone does not allow to defecate, और if one overuses a laxative, अगर कोई लंबे समय तक laxative ले रहा है तो उससे भी constipation हो जाता है, ठीक है। कोई लंबे chronic अगर laxative ले रहा है, all of you understand what is laxative? laxative सबको पता है ना, ठीक है। laxative जैसे lactulose आता है, right? lactulose is a laxative, ठीक है। lactulose का सिरप आता है, ठीक है, तो इट इज अ लैक्सेटिव। तो जो फीसेस को सॉफ्ट बनाते हैं उसको लैक्सेटिव बोलते हैं, राइट। अगर वो लंबी समय तक ले रहा है तो दैट आल्सो कॉजेस द कॉन्स्टिपेशन, ठीक है। क्योंकि जो नेचुरल बाउल फंक्शन है वो नहीं होगा, तो दीज आर द कॉमन कॉजेज। जो कॉमन कॉजेज होते हैं, ये कॉमन कॉज होता है, ठीक है, कॉन्स्टिपेशन का। सो रिफ्लेक्स बिकम्स लेस स्ट्रॉन्ग ओवर ईयर्स एंड कोलोन बिकम्स एटोनिक। और अगर ये लंबी समय तक रहता है कॉन्स्टिपेशन, तो क्या होता है कि जो रिफ्लेक्स है वो कम हो जाता है, एंड कोलोन बिकम्स एटोनिक। व्हाट इज एटोनिक? एटोन मतलब मसल टोन, ए मतलब एब्सेंस, और डिक्रीज, तो जो मसल टोन है वो कम हो जाती है, इट बिकम्स एटोनिक और एब्सेंट मसल टोन। सिम्टम्स क्या होंगे? एनोरेक्सिया। व्हाट इज एनोरेक्सिया? व्हाट इज एनोरेक्सिया? डिक्रीज इन एपेटाइट। एनोरेक्सिया इज डिक्रीज इन एपेटाइट, राइट। भूख कम लगेगी, nausea and abdominal distension and discomfort. Other symptoms such as headache, restlessness, irritability due to anxiety. क्योंकि अगर नॉर्मल मैकेनिज्म आपकी बॉडी में काम नहीं करे तो देयर विल बी एंजाइटी एंड देयर विल बी रेस्टलेसनेस. ट्रीटमेंट, addition of dietary fibers which are neither digested nor absorbed in meals. As I told you, जो dietary fibers होते हैं, these are made up of mainly cellulose and we do not have the enzyme cellulase जो कि उन dietary fibers को digest करे, तो these are excreted as it is and they act as a bulk laxative, ठीक है, because they causes the absorption of the water and they make the feces soft. So it adds to bulk of the feces which helps in initiating the peristalsis, and they also add the bulk to the feces. And another treatment is bulk laxative. What is bulk laxative? जिससे कि लैक्टुलोज होता है. So that was. So now next is digestion and absorption. So defecation reflex is important. You should know the defecation reflex. You should know the Hirschsprung disease or congenital megacolon and constipation also, but these two are very important, right? Now next topic is digestion and absorption. So ultimately जो भी चीज आपने जो भी एंजाइम आपकी बॉडी में होते हैं, जो डाइजेस्ट करते हैं कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन एंड फैट्स को, तो आफ्टर डाइजेशन जो हाउ दे आर एब्जॉर्ब्ड, ठीक है. डाइजेशन मेनली हमने कवर अप कर लिया, हर पार्ट ऑफ द इंटेस्टाइन के साथ हमने कवर अप कर लिया, बट हाउ दे आर एब्जॉर्ब्ड फ्रॉम योर इंटेस्टाइन, राइट. तो एब्जॉर्प्शन किस किस का होता है? वाटर एंड आयोन्स का जो मेन एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स का एंड प्रोटीन्स एंड फैट्स. What is the general principle for absorption? Principle, right? First there is breakdown of complex molecules. जो भी आप खाने में ले रहे हो, ठीक है, तो these are complex compounds. So first there is breakdown of the complex molecules with the help of enzymes, ठीक है, with the help of enzyme, and these enzymes act at a particular pH. They act at a particular pH. See, digestion and absorption is also an important part for you. Now after digestion there is absorption into the gut, ठीक है, पहले digest हो गया, then there is absorption into the gut. बातें नहीं उधर. So absorption में क्या क्या देखेंगे? We will see the mechanism of absorption, active, passive and carriers that are involved. So जो लिक्विड होता है आप जो डाइट में लेते हो, ठीक है, नॉर्मल इनपुट आपकी बॉडी में कितना जाता है लिक्विड? थ्रू इंजेक्शन इट गोज 2 liters पर डे, ठीक है. आप जो लेते हो इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 2 liters पर डे, एंड सिक्रीशन इज बाय द गट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 7 liters पर डे इट इज सिक्रीटेड. आउटपुट फीसेस में अराउंड 100 ml पर डे इट इज concludes 9 liters per day is absorbed, right? Now absorption of the water. Passive, जो water absorption it is passive through osmotic gradient, ठीक है, through osmotic gradients होता है. Osmotic gradients is due to sodium. It also absorbs through the leaky tight junctions, उसके थ्रू भी होता है. 95% of absorption occurs in small intestine. Carbohydrates, this is complex carbohydrate, that is starch, ठीक है. In presence of enzyme salivary amylase and pancreatic amylase, this starch is broken down into maltose and limidextrin. Maltose are disaccharides made up of glucose and glucose, ठीक है. So and limidextrin दोनों में. Now after breakdown, this glucose or in form of galactose is absorbed through the intestine. So this is the wall of the intestine. This is the epithelial cell of the intestine, ठीक है. So there is a channel that is SGLT1. This is SGLT1. This is GLUT2. This is GLUT2 channel, ठीक है. So in presence of SGLT1, the sodium and glucose or galactose is absorbed, ठीक है. In presence of SGLT1, the sodium or glucose and galactose is absorbed. Sodium goes out through the sodium potassium ATPase pump, ठीक है. Sodium potassium ATPase pump के through sodium will go out, and this glucose or galactose is absorbed by a facilitated diffusion in presence of channel GLUT2, ठीक है. In presence of channel GLUT2 via what is facilitated diffusion? Through carrier proteins, they are diffused. So first there is what happens to the carbohydrate? Summary: first there is digestion of the carbohydrate from the polysaccharide to disaccharide. Then these disaccharides are broken down into the monosaccharides at the brush border of the epithelium. At the brush border of the epithelium, in presence of enzyme, galactase or maltase enzyme. So these glucose and galactose, it enters cells via energy dependent secondary active transport. So and there is piggyback on sodium gradient. ठीक है, जो सोडियम आपने अंदर जा रहा है तो there is gradient and this causes the absorption. Now glucose and galactose जब वो absorb हो गया, it enters the capillaries down its concentration gradient, and fructose enters capillary via passive carrier mediated transport. Now next is protein digestion. It is also same. First there is protein जो आप ले रहे हो, it is broken down to peptides in presence of enzyme pepsinogen and trypsin. Pepsinogen is broken down into pepsin and trypsin. So in presence of enzyme pepsin and trypsin, this is broken down into the peptides. So you can see in the flow chart, proteins in presence of pepsin broken down into proteases, peptones and large polysaccharides. Then again in presence of pancreatic proteases, these are broken down into dipeptide, tripeptide and polypeptide. ठीक है, ये broken down हो गए. Now जैसे कि carbohydrate में था at brush border, these are further broken down into the smaller amino acids and small polypeptides, and in intracellular जो cell के अंदर भी there is peptidases, वहाँ पे these are further broken down into the amino acids. This diagram was there. So what was happening? First these are broken down into the peptides. ठीक है, these are at the brush border. At the brush border, broken down into the dipeptide and tripeptide. ठीक है, छोटे छोटे peptides में broken down हो जाएगा and amino acids में, right? And it is absorbed into the cell. In cell also there is intracellular peptide, जो intracellular जो छोटे छोटे break down करने के लिए peptidases होते हैं, तो वहाँ पे these are further broken down into the intracellular peptidases में these are further broken down into the amino acids, and these amino acids are absorbed into the blood. This is how absorption of the proteins occurs. समझा सबको? So same it is written here. So peptides to amino acids at brush border, absorbed by secondary active transport, depends on sodium transport. So what is the mechanism of absorption? At epithelial cells, there is sodium dependent active transporter, simple diffusion and endocytosis of large polypeptide. These three occurs. Further digestion of the epithelial cells and transport of amino acids into the blood capillaries. Now next is abnormality of the protein digestion. What is the abnormality? There is inadequate, it can be there is inadequate absorption of the proteins or malabsorption of the amino acids. Now digestion of fats we will study in next class, क्योंकि मेरे को लग रहा है आप लोग बोर हो गए हो.